Like for real, like it don't matter if you don't like the decisions made or blah blah blah. The experience you have with first listen and even going back or even showing your friends, like you're not gonna have that experience this year with no other album.
Microphone check, 1 2. What is this? It's the 5'7" assassin in the podcast business. I am your host, Rohan Patra, the rap music plug at your service. Here we are again at the end of a rainbow. Pink Siifu has been on a mission to create some of the most forward-thinking art in all of music. His eclectic ear has led him down some incredibly fruitful and creative rabbit holes, and on his new record, Black Antique, his latest masterstroke pushes his gumbo, genre-fluid ethos to new extremes. With another terrific album under his belt, Siifu's legacy is on a special trajectory. And in today's episode, the Birmingham native speaks on how he'd like to be remembered as, the unique energy of Black Antique and why he's so proud of it, and much, much more. Pink Siifu is everything you want in an artist, so tap into this episode and learn more about a legend in the making. The Rap Music Plug podcast presented by QLC TV is the remedy to the I don't have anything good to listen to problem. Through in-depth artist interviews, album reviews, and general rap commentary on the best that the underground rap scene has to offer, this is your one-stop shop to knowing what to add to your queue, play next, or pop into your record player. Welcome to the show. Pink Siifu, how you doing today?
I'm chilling, bro. Chilling, man. Doing good, actually. Doing real good. How about yourself?
I'm great. I'm great. Like I was telling you, I'm going to Benjamin Booker, Kenny Siegel
Yeah.
right after recording
Oh.
this. It's gonna be a good Friday. Gonna be a good Friday. But congratulations on this new release, man. Black Antique. It's your fourth studio album, and that right there is something I want to start with because like I was like, doing my normal prep for this interview, and I saw your trailer, dope by the way, for like the trailer for the record, and
Oh,
it says the your fourth studio album, and I was like, that it's your fourth? I felt like this is like your 15th album. Like I was like, that's crazy. I was like only your fourth, but it is. It's like your fourth solo, I guess, and
mhm.
it just how prolific and impressive your catalog's been. And so like how has this latest album release cycle been for you, and how has the reception been to you? How have you felt about it so far?
Yeah. I feel like we kind of at like maybe like all in total, probably like maybe 58 or like 58 total projects that I got. But yeah, it's not that many solo. Within all of that. I mean, I guess the beat tapes are solo, but we talking like full on vocal things, like yeah, but yeah, honestly, bro, I feel real good about this album. Like the criticism is kind of what I expected. It's either like folks really, really vibe with it or they really hate it. Like or like they kind of can't listen to it or like a little bit in between, some niggas like the first half, some niggas like the second half. I've been looking at everything. And this probably my last album looking at everything. Well, probably not, but
Why do you
far
think it's your last? Why do you think it's your last one doing
just
that?
just probably solo wise. I'll probably do that with collab shit. But like solo wise, I'm just getting to a point where I look at everything, but it's like at first when I dropped it, because I was so excited and because like I knew just how much time niggas put into it and shit, I was looking at like, oh yeah, like I was looking for all the things that I love about the record and making sure it's there. Like or like it was just crazy. And then like as I was getting that, as I was getting everything that I thought, and then I was getting the other things, and then it was just becoming like more of like then I was just like with positive. I feel like it's way more positive than anything.
Mm-hmm.
But it was just like uh I seen me being like, well, like it, I've seen niggas talk about the album and being like, well, I wasn't in the proper space to hear it, so I gotta run it back or like blah blah. And I'm like, I just seen me like questioning like that. I was like, well, why are you even talking about it if you ain't really listening? So it was certain thing like that. But I'm like, and I just had to like cut myself. I'm like,
It can be draining sometimes, I bet.
but like fuck all that. Like I've made this isn't like a child to be judged. This is like a grown baby man that I've made, and that nigga's on his own now. Like, so it's like I can't I can't be that mama that like you can't talk about my baby or my daddy, that dad, like you can't talk like I'm like fuck all that. Like I like it's out and I know what I did before I put it out. I just know my main thing with this is like I want something out that I feel like isn't out like right now or like isn't in the norm or isn't just something that I just a young me will fuck with and right now me and a young me will fuck with like on some like exciting experience like listening to the album and having a full experience like how I used to feel with Love Below and Missy and like albums and like just like a couple of like Yay albums and shit. Like it was, I'm just like I wanted that excitement back. Like when like me and my nigga Elliot used to like get hella weed and like hotbox the whip or hotbox the bathroom and just bump. And that was our first listens to album. Like we ain't leave the bathroom until the album was done. Like that's how I heard Graduation. That's how I heard all the Kid Cudi albums up until I think Indica and like
Mm.
it was just like that's just like what was my experience like high school and like college. Like that's how I listened to albums. So like I just wanted to bring that back and like I did that. Like so that's all that matters. Like for real, like it don't matter if you don't like the decisions made or blah blah blah. The experience you have with first listen and even going back or even showing your friends, like you're not gonna have that experience this year with no other album. Like, but if we do, then let's fucking go. Like I want niggas to get back into that. But I just think that was my thing. I'm not having that experience with niggas' albums. Like it is certain albums that is in the past, recent years that have came out and I've had an experience too, but if we talking like a consistent thing, that's like once every 2, 3 years, like you having an experience with an album that's like you don't know where it's going, but you down for the ride. And just like a movie, like Uncut Gems, like on some shit, like you just so it's like that was my whole goal. And like I executed that. So anything else critiqued or whatever, I don't give a fuck. Like genuinely. And even if what I see kind of irks me, it was just like that. So like, and I get why niggas like don't read reviews and blah 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 blah. Like I was having that moment, and but I'm a fan of this, so that's why like I look at everything.
Yeah.
I like seeing every people like a journalist, writers, artists, fans perspective of shit. Like, but like this one when I was like, oh yeah, it's out. It's good. I'm gonna listen, but I don't gotta carry it away. And after and at the end of the day, everything's good. Not like bad press, good press, blah blah, but like it's just more views on everything. So I like I had to take that. But I'm very sensitive about art, especially this type of art. Like I feel like I remember I kind of don't gotta get into that, but it's just certain albums that have came out and then other niggas have dropped shit and not even my project, like other homies. And I've been like, wait, like y'all geeking about this, but y'all ain't this.
Yeah.
Like, and I'll be like, so like when I feel like that, I'll be like, but cause niggas work so hard and I know what the homies did and I know it, blah, blah, blah. So even if it's just a few niggas talking and it's 1,000 niggas up in it, it's just them few niggas. It's like, nigga,
Yeah,
y'all know
it's naturally biased. Those stick to you, even though it numbers don't weigh it out.
exactly,
Yeah.
exactly. But all in all, to say that I love that I made a project that just has a lot of different views, and I'm super proud of this project because I just pushed myself for like a lot further than like I thought I could at the time, and I was making tracks that like I've been kind of wanting to make. As I really realized the resources that I got in my corner to be able to kind of make anything I kind of want. So like I'm excited about this
You
album.
should be.
I'm
You
happy for
should be.
niggas to see the rest of the videos too. I'm going getting like very yeah, some good ideas, some good cinema. So it's just exciting. I'm excited for everybody to see what comes like for the rest of the year, extended from this project and the family for real.
Yeah, like I mean, I think you succeeded because like I remember when I first played this, I had to wake up really early for work. So I was like on some real heavy sleep deprivation. And I just remember I played the track one and I just got like it was like a shot of espresso. It was just like, whoa, what the fuck is this? And it really just never left me that like it just hit a chord immediately with that really loud ass fucking like noise
Oh
to that starts the record.
Seth, bro.
Yeah, that was a great synth choice. And like I think with this record it really showcased that like for me, at least your superpower as an artist is your vision. And like the way you put albums together always feel like they're inspired, purposeful. Songs aren't put together because you needed to like make an album. Let's just put whatever I was making the past few months. Every album has its own unique identity. Like, and I feel like this one is special because it almost feels like your culmination of a lot of stuff you dabbled in on past records, but like put together into something like that. Warm Soul of Ensley is a lot in the later half of this record.
Yeah.
The N album with the punk abrasion. It's Too Quiet with like the trap, like nocturnal shit. Gumbo with like just the overall approach, the collab of Leather Boulevard. When you approach this record, the creation of Black Antique, what was that unique sonic identity you were vying to explore?
Abrasive, aggressive, but not like Negro in a sense like I'm angry. Like Negro was like political. I said this to the homie. I was like, if Negro was like, y'all got my niggas fucked up, like the world, y'all got niggas fucked up in general. Like Black Antique is like, y'all got me fucked up. And like, not like, not like I'm mad or like on some op shit, just like on some like the Black Antique is like everything really. It's like the collaborators that I got on the album. It's like, you know, the timelessness or whatever, but it's also me. And like that's kind of the y'all got me fucked up. Like y'all not seeing my worth. Y'all know it's like that's kind of all in the first half in a sense. Like so, and then it gets more in perspective on like how I be having me fucked up sometimes, or like how I have things and like just trials through life. So I feel like it's kind of like it's just like it's a culmination of all that because it's like all of my things and my ideas and my situations that I be going through. So like I feel like the Sonics, I was just trying to get that right because one of my main things, I was like really listening to like a lot of Missy, bro. Like and watching Missy's interviews and like just the whole shit. Like I was really engulfed in Missy. And like I was just like I was like, wow, what can like 'cause she was all about like how can we separate ourselves like from everything for real? Like, and how can we be like different from like how can we be different from like what's going on? She was never trying to like sound like anybody else for real, never trying to look like somebody else. So like that was my whole approach. I was like, what's out right now and like what can I do to add different shit? And like I just didn't hear nothing like kind of like what I end up putting together. Like in the later half, it's kind of that out, but in a sense, like in total, I was just like, I haven't heard shit like this. Like, so like I just that was really my whole thing. Literally, if you go look at Missy interviews, she's like, yeah, we wasn't watching shit, we wasn't listening to shit, we wasn't blah blah blah. And I was just like, just because they wanted to be originally themselves. So I was just really taking that in and being like, all right, well, I'm a fan of shit, but what ain't niggas doing? And that's kind of how we was on with Leather Boulevard too. Like we kind of like that whole time we was making that, we was like, yeah, this shit kind of wide open. Like as far as like just this sound we doing. So like let's really like let's really like go crazy with this shit.
Yeah, I mean like that I mean you introduced that idea, you kind of touched on it like that black antique idea of being rare, timeless, and like I just feel like this record sounds like a snapshot of what like because obviously like your music in itself is like harnessing past traditions of music, particularly black music, but like this feels like a snapshot of what like your vision of like contemporary music could look like, where it's just like never been put together in such a way where there's like, yeah, there's these very avant-garde, almost like music concrete shit, this like noise punk, trap, like it's like a mix of modern and classical all at the same time. And that package is like very one of a kind. And I guess like as you're saying, it sounds like that was the main ethos behind this record. Is like, let me make something that has not been made before.
In a sense, yeah, because I mean you got your albums. Like I'm a fan of this shit. So like you got your Missies, you got your Death Grips, you got your like Ganja Sufis, you got your Flying Lotuses, you got your albums where it's like, oh, this don't like Cosmogramma don't sound like nothing else. You know what I'm
Absolutely.
saying? It's like certain albums like Muzzle by Ganja Sufi don't sound like nothing else. If anything, it sound like some niggas made in like the the 1910s down south. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like it's like so it's like I'm just like on that. The more I make music and the more that I'm like not idolizing, but like appreciating my like goats and like legends, like I'm like what they did. I'm like, nah, that's why they got that stamp. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like it's every legend or every icon or every nigga in position. Whereas they can go on the numbers, blah, blah, blah. You can do whatever. It's because they got something they got in their catalog that separated them for what was going on. I feel like anybody that got something going on, where it could be Drake, Thug, Future, Dot, like the whole thing, like all them niggas got one or two that's like nigga one nobody on and that's going back to Missy. Like it's why Missy and Timbaland and Neptunes and Buster was so pivotal because they were
Hmm.
so hungry about that newness with them. You know what I'm saying? Like, and that's kind of my nigga. That's why my nigga Quest is a lot on the album too, because Conquest, he put me on the Stone Stove. First off, Conquest like put me on the Doom, Stone Stove, all the like eclectic, fire, in-depth shit for real. And like, and he's always been an artist, like, he's always been an artist. Like, you never come to Quest and be like, yo, I want some Pharrell shit, or like I want some of this type shit, blah blah. He always gonna be like, I feel you, but like, all right, I hear you, but we gonna do this. But he gonna hear you though, and he gonna download that as a producer. But he's gonna give you a V12. And
Yeah.
like he's like, yeah, we're gonna do that, but we gonna do this stuff. Like, and he's just so on that Missy shit. Like he like with how Missy was talking to Tim, like, nah, like you gotta do it like this. You got so it's 101 original. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, like, I think last time we spoke on the show, I feel like I said something along these lines of like where you've shown so much ability to make such unique records to where like it's not like it doesn't surprise me or it doesn't like have an it's not like an experience like I just told you like listening to this new album for the first time it was like such a it like really struck a chord. But what I mean is that like you've developed this ability and shown this so many times to where like I'm not whenever you make an album like Black Antique, if you were someone I didn't know, I would be like, "Yo, what the fuck is going on? Like, how did he ever think about this?" But I almost am like not even having as many of those discussions because I've just gotten accustomed to you always like you're just always doing something unique to where this doesn't sound like, oh, insert artist A trying to make like a whole jambalaya or a gumbo, better word for it, of like random shit together. Like it's just so like the and like even the arc of this record like because it is very distinctly put like it's a lot louder and like in your face abrasive and it kind of ends up super solemn or soulful maybe not solemn but soulful and like very sobering, especially that final track that it's just like a really unique journey but it feels connected is basically the point I'm getting at.
Nah, yeah, and like I was telling the homie, thank you for that too, bro. Thank you. Like I feel like that's one thing too. Like is this album showed me with just feedback because like with the if you love it, if you hate it, because I was like, if you a Pink Siifu fan, like for real, you like you just know a ride, you in for a ride. And like I tell you, bro, that's exactly why I chose my name, Pink Siifu. Like, cause I was like on some festival shit. Like I was like, this name, like thinking just about Pink Floyd, thinking about just all these artists that just got these weird band names. I was like, if I seen that as a random nigga, I would just want to just see what the fuck they doing. What is the Pink Siifu doing at the festival? Like, so like I think that's how my fans look at my albums. They like, all right, bro, let me see what the fuck. Like
Yeah.
the ride is for this. And that's all I care about, bro. But also like I feel like the art, the arc was like I was really thinking about movies, bro. Like, and that's why it was so dope to do that shit with Dylan, bro. For real notes, because like I really sequenced this shit like a movie, bro. Like almost like the main character, he either got shot or like he shot somebody that was real pivotal in the beginning. And then you found out throughout the album. And then he might have shot somebody, like say like on some stump the yard shit, right? I remember seeing this shit in theaters. The theater was so mad when Chris Brown died in the beginning. Like all the girls was so mad. Like nigga, you would have thought niggas was about to leave the theater. Like niggas was like, what the fuck? Like blah blah blah. And like, but how they marketed the movie was like you kind of thought Chris Brown was gonna stay the whole shit. And like he died in the beginning, and then you got to sit with that and blah blah blah. So I kind of did the album like that. Like the shock factor is the is like the and then you understand why, and that's Big Rude. Like you understand the whole album at the end. Like, and I even seen somebody talking about the album. They was like, "Yo, you should have put that in the beginning." But I honestly understand because it was the But like, it could have worked in the beginning, but it wouldn't have had the same like vibe. But it was the explanation of the whole antique experience. So it's like I really did it on some movie shit though. Like how niggas like Casino, Robert De Niro get blown up, and then it's like I was really watching a lot of movies in this, and like that's like that's like my process. I really realized like I'm really more. I'm like a director, like producer, like rap nigga, like especially when I'm sequencing the album. Like when it's that time, like it's so much that go into that part. So it's like it's very fun, like in that shit, and it's fun for me. That's why other niggas kind of I feel like have that type of shit, like that type of experience, I guess, if they have it.
No, I like the way you sequenced it because yeah, I do think you could have put that like you could have put that Blackwater track at the first, I guess. You know, it could have made sense. But like I kind
Yeah.
of like it that it's shocking and you're kind of confused in a way and you're like, okay, and you're a little more like um yeah, it's a little more introspective, like at least more blatantly introspective from you personally in the second half. And then ending with that, it kind of you're like, oh, okay, this is kind of like a whole depiction of like what a black antique is, and it ends that way versus like you're kind of expecting it, I guess. It still would be a crazy album, but like,
Yeah, you would
you know.
expect that in the first, but it's
Hmm.
like you kind of gotta take the ride to learn. That's my favorite movies. I like some of my favorite movies. I don't see the trailers. I go in, I know the director, I know the lead actors or whatever, maybe. I'm just going in and then I learn at the end. And that's like kind of how I wanted the album to feel like. Cause like the beginning, you never heard nothing like that. Like from me, like you never heard just since. Like for real. Like you heard that a little bit on It's Too Quiet, but it was a little
Yeah,
different
definitely.
frequency, a little different energy. Like, but like you never really heard that. So like even that, it's like, all right, where we going? And like I love that feeling. Like I was so in tune with my emotions, how I was hearing it, and like how I would hear it as a fan. Like for
Yeah.
real, like with this shit. Like,
You know, like when there's like that saying, right, in artists in art, like I think in outside of music too, mute with like movies and shit, where it's like there's a way of making something where you feel like where the creator isn't dumbing things down or like, they're assuming their audience can figure it out versus like spoon feeding, this is what this means, right? I feel
yeah,
like you almost took that approach of like thinking that the audience is smart enough to figure it out. And I appreciate that because I feel like with movies, actually, like I've had a couple experiences recently, which is unlike me. I'm mostly always checking out the trailer. I'm very like, oh, I need to like I need to vet the things before I watch them because it's like a 2 hours of my time. But there's a
yeah.
couple times now where I've gone to see a movie with my girl because she wanted to see it, and I was too
And you
busy.
don't know shit
I didn't
about it.
know anything. And they're like both like one was like Long Legs or something, and the other was that like the Substance movie, which was such a strange movie. Like it's not like I'm saying, oh, it's this fucking masterpiece, but it was so much better because I was so absolutely like flabbergasted by where the movie was going. I'm like, this is so weird. But like I feel like I'm good because I'm good at reading art. Like I've listened to a lot of music, especially like I know where people are going, so I like it when you don't make it like obvious. Because like I
E-
kind of figure it out pretty quickly, you know?
Exactly, bro. Like that's like you with that. I haven't had that recently. Like, I mean, I went to go see Nosferatu and I knew about it from back in the day. So like it wasn't a surprise.
Hmm.
But like that makes me think of how when I seen Talladega Nights, I seen that shit $2 in the $2 movie. Me and my niggas take double dates in there. We go in there, $2 movies, we go in there on demon time. We just go in there to kiss on our shorties.
Hmm.
Might get a little fanging, might do a little song. Nigga, we ain't do none of that. We laughing, giggling, cracking up. We ain't think we was walking into Talladega Nights. We like dying. And I'm like, we ain't know where the movie was going. We ain't see no trailers, nothing.
That's
And
awesome.
like I was and like shit like that makes me, and that's what one of the main reasons I even moved to LA with the low end beat thing, because their production, I didn't know it was producers I was fucking with at the time. I didn't know their drum patterns. I didn't know where they was gonna take it for the next measure or for the next blah blah blah. And that helped my writing. Like I was like, I don't wanna, yeah, I don't wanna know what the drum's gonna do. I wanna like move with it. I feel like I like music that's breathing. You know what I'm
Mm.
saying? Like it's changing while you listening to it. It's like it's forming, it's doing some other shit. So like I like just was thinking about all of that shit, the movie shit, the the experience shit, the forming shit, the breathing shit. Like, and that's kind of like my whole thing with that. And like the Missy shit. Like I feel like Missy was like like my guardian angel with this album for real. Cause I was just like, it gotta be 101 because she was so serious about that. And I feel like how she talks about that now, that's the testament to like her busting Neptunes. Like that's the secret. Like them focusing in on like what they could offer and their story and like how they wanted it to sound, not like getting influenced by other things. And in this climate, I feel like that's so important. Like
Hmm.
for real, like where we at right now, like with the copy and paste shit, with everything
Yeah.
being like sounding similar, like niggas just gotta stamp and stand out in whatever way they want to. And I feel like this is like my first leap into that, like me trying to stamp on my own, like not saying my other projects I haven't, but like that's my goal moving forward. It's just like how can I stamp on some legacy shit, but kind of just on some forever shit. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah, no, and I think like when you were saying about that idea of you being like a composer and you're looking at like a director, I think is the word you use. I think of a track like obviously that applies to the whole album, but I think of a track like Screw for Life, R.I.P. Jalen, which I think is like one of your like just it's just a masterpiece. Like it's like one of
thank
the most poignant songs here lyrically when it came to like but when it came to honoring your late cousin Jalen. But I think like the way you put these two ideas together, because for those who haven't listened to the song, there's like a beat switch, very different vibe on the second half. I love how you connected these kind of like potentially isolated ideas of being a very personal kind of speaking about someone who's passed in your life, and then the impact and kind of legacy of DJ Screw. And like I feel like the way you strung those two ideas together, like both kind of talking about this like idea of like family, one's like musical family, one's like
you.
literal family. I just feel like the way you strung together those two things, the lineage, like that idea of family is kind of what I want to center on. Like I feel like that's something that keeps coming across in all of your music, whether it be kind of musical lineage or it's like your literal blood family. Like how important is that like in terms of like a theme or like an idea that you really need to always have represented in your music?
I mean, that's I feel like I always tell folks like I don't really know the word for word question niggas be asking me, but like folks always ask like a similar question on like just like I don't know, like with some advice. And I just be like, bruh, just tell your story. Like, you know what I'm saying, your way. And like my family, they got like I got stories to tell with them folks. You know what I'm saying? Like and my cousin Jalen, that's my that was my guy for real. Like that was down there my brother for real. So like that's just like and he hella supported my music. Like hella support. He loved when I was talking my shit too. Like so like that's why you got me talking my shit after I tribute him. Cause you know what I'm saying? Like so it's just shit like that. Yeah, it's just always like every album I kind of drop on like a family member birthday too. So it's always like some connected in a sense like that. Like I'm always thinking about family. I got raised by the best music by like family members for real. So yeah, that's just in me. That's just in me. Like I just want to keep telling that story as much as possible in different ways I can. Like it is certain projects like I'm working on in the future that are kind of like not that if I like could not say too much, like it's kind of like every director kind of got like a sci-fi or like a western or
Mm.
like a some out of the box crime drama that's like not their life. You know what I'm saying? Like they kind of just want to I just want to do a Star Wars or like something, you know what I'm
Hmm.
saying? Like so like but in a sense though, it is some pieces and some characters that you always put a little bit of yourself into. So I feel like you always gonna hear that. And that's like my family bleeding in through that. No matter what the project is, you kind of gonna hear that in some way. But it is certain projects that I'm kind of like thinking about different things. But yeah, that's probably gonna be forever, just because of how much my family just got an impact on me for real.
Mm. And like when I think of like DJ Screw, like that, the amount of influence and inspiration he's had on so many artists is just insane. He's a legend, and I think with this new record for you, I think obviously it's like it's amazing. I think it's one of your absolute best. And I think it's really just like the latest notch on your belt that kind of elevates you on that trajectory to being a legend yourself. Like that's truly where I place you. And so like on that subject of legacy, like what would you hope when it's all said and done would be like the legacy people remember you with or by?
I mean, just like somebody who just, there's somebody who did take it further, and just and like really was serious about the art. Like for real. The legacy gonna say what it say. You know what I'm saying? It's up for me to just do all the work and do all the things, and then they say what they say. But like, yeah, for me, yeah, I'm real passionate about this art shit. So like I just wanna be seen as just somebody who really gave a fuck like all the time and at different angles of the art shit. You know what I'm saying? Also, too, I just don't want to be compared.
Oh,
Like that's that's one thing. Like at the end of the day, definitely definitely that.
I
Like
think you're
that's my
succeeding on that. I got
yeah
no
yeah.
comparisons that even are like I can you can't even give you a lazy one. So
Nah,
I
my
think that's
G.
working. I really I put you in that same breath of like an artist like Ye as being just like a master of collaboration where like on Leather Boulevard particularly like the way you can blend different vocalists together on that was just magnificent. And on Black Antique, I feel like this obviously the spirit of collaboration is clearly present, but I think with this record, it really showed up on the production side because like I was looking at the
Yeah
production credits of this album and like this has to be like the most expansive amount of like different hands, both from like a mastering perspective, but also like a just a beat maker perspective. As like many of these songs have north of three, sometimes five or six co-producers.
yeah.
So like, could you elaborate more on that recording process and how you were able to kind of effectively merge all of these different ideas from different people into coherent tracks?
Well, like it's a lot easier than it looked when you got like folks just down for the ride. You know what I'm saying? Like even like fans, I got some folks that's just in my corner, producers, vocalists, that's just down for the ride, bro. And like in a sense where like I'm not a hard person to work with, but I'm all over the place. You know what I'm saying? Like so like just on some like, yo, like nigga send me a beat. I might like chop the beginning of it, send it back, and be like, yo, like, when did I do that? And they do some shit over it, and they send it back to me, and I send it to my guitarist, or like my or one of the vocalist homies do some ad-libs over it. Da 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 da. That might be before I even drop a verse on it. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Hmm.
so like it get like that. Like it's getting like that. It got like that. It started getting like that from Negro. That's how a lot of the Negro shit with some of the band was made. Like, yo, give me the drums. Okay. Pass that to the guitars. Okay. Pass that to the basses. Okay. Pass that to the flutist. Okay. Pass that to the trumpet. Building like that before I got them all in the studio. And now I can have them all in the studio, but now I'm still like passing shit around. It's like really hot potato, but from my direction. But like, if you ain't got niggas that's just like some niggas would be like, nigga, I don't want to just do ad libs. Some nigga like and like that ain't even that ain't even to play niggas that don't want to do that. But like, and that ain't no disrespect to nobody, but it it got something to do. it do got something to say about like the ego or whatever, like or whatever it is in that. You know what I'm saying? Like, so it's like to have people that's just down, like I said, for the ride or just down to not have no ego or just that's how you get that shit, bro. And like so, like it was one of those, bro. Just a freeing like space. A lot of niggas passing me shit. A lot of me with artists, hella bands, hella producers in like different rooms, then they getting together doing things. Like it was um it was all over the place. A lot of me fucking with shit. And then like I said, sitting in the back, Paulo fucking with shit. Live and direct probably my favorite thing because Nick Hakeem, that's Nick Hakeem fucking with
Oh
uh
shit, yeah.
all that weird like after the band do that jam and then it go that's all Nick Hakeem. That shit, that's on some like on site shit, bro. Like that shit, like the original thing is like 18 minutes of him just fucking
Wow.
around like that. And I just found my favorite part and then made the thing out of it. Like that's why I said it's on some on-site shit. So it's just like, and then I just sent that to Apollo. Apollo did the drums, sent that to my Negro band. They did everything. It was just like I love the guys that's in my corner for real because they just make everything like flow. And like I got all these ideas and they just I bet what we doing. Like, you know what I'm saying? I'm like that for them when it's time to work on their shit. So it's like it's a whole thing. Like,
Yeah, you got some talented people in your corner. Like it was like Nick Hakim's amazing. Like
yeah, bro. And that's one thing too. Like, niggas don't know. Nick Hakeem, one of the most punk niggas on the planet, bro. And like I'm
yeah, I've tapped
always,
in. He's crazy.
bro, like I'm always like anytime I could show that side of Nick, I'ma do it. And like, yeah, when he gave me that sample, he's like, yeah, I was fucking around. Like, I don't know, like if you could fuck with it, but it's so crazy. But like, yeah, nah, that's yeah, yeah, talented, most talented folks for
Yeah,
real.
like and also like you're kind of saying there, right? Like the mixture of having like live instrumentation mixed with like beat stuff, like electronic stuff. It's like really cool how that got all blended into something very unique. And
God,
like,
bro,
you know,
that's
throughout your entire career, like you certainly made music that could be classified as just generically like experimental. But there's a strong case to make that this one is maybe like your most experimental, pushing the envelope record yet. Like, tell me why does like experimenting with sound and collaboration so extensively as you do inspire you or like resonate with you so much as a creator?
yeah. I've been seeing that like niggas like yo, this probably my most experiment, and like I don't really got nothing to say about that. I'm like I like cause I just been a little weird for a long time, bro. Like, so like, I don't know, but my thing is I just love like, it's just kind of how I was brought up. I really love Jimi Hendrix. I really love Prince. I really love George Clinton. Like, so I really love Miles Davis. Most importantly, Bitches Brew. So like, I just like really fuck with niggas like we about to fuck this shit up. Like we about to just like I don't know, like we about to just fuck it up, and I just that's kind of like my whole thing with shit. Like I just like blending things, and it's kind of like how I was, how I listen to music, like kind of how I was brought up. Like it's kind of how Dungeon Family raised me. You know what I'm
Mm.
saying? Like Stankonia changed my fucking life. Like talking about I can get drum and bass, rap, blues, and soul in one album, like and like consistently, like and like gospel, and you know what I'm saying? Like it's just like this is the shit I was listening to. That's like what like when I got into music, I referenced or I thought like, oh, okay, I could, yeah, I can sing. I can't sing on my first song, having real studio time. I could just sing. I don't gotta rap. And that was my first song. Like, so it was just like cause Love Below is my favorite album. Yeah, I could just sing. Like, so it's just coming in shit like that. And blah blah blah. It's just like I'm trying to do something. And yeah, I'm just not trying to do what niggas been doing. If I'm trying to do anything that niggas did, it's like from the 80s or from the 70s. But even still, I'm trying to take it a little further. You know what I'm saying? But like
Mm.
I ain't really trying to do what's the now, like really ever. Like for real. Like that's been kind of my career the whole time. If anything, it was a point when I moved to LA and like I was super inspired by the LA sound. That might have been the only time I was like trying to do something in the now.
Mm.
But after that, shit, after I found yesterday's new quintet, Madlib Jazz shit, and was put on my ass at my design's house, niggas telling me, I'm like, yo, what is this? They're like, yeah, this Madlib. I'm like, wait, what? It say yesterday's new quintet? They're like, yeah, this is jazz shit. I'm like, nah, what? Like, literally, that changed my life, bro. And like, just certain other things, like hearing Ganja Sufi for the first time, like it's just like Willis Earl Bill, Zero, like that shit. Like I was just like, oh, I gotta come original. I gotta do
Yeah.
things like So I feel like that's the experimental shit. It's like, all right, what raised me? Going back to my parents. All right, what is the DNAs of me? Going back to movies. All right, what is my favorite things, and how can I put all of that and my shit and I love Nirvana. I love the Pixies. I love Tupac. I love Dungeon Family. I love Missy. How can I put all of that in one thing? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like that's like my shit. Like,
Yeah, that's like your
like
mission statement almost. Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
But like I think like, like there's a lot of other artists that I'm sure love and have eclectic tastes in music too, but I think what makes you special is that like you're a really effective vessel. Like a lot of people can like Nirvana, Tupac, like Dungeon Family, but then they don't know how to tap into that in a way that still can end up spitting out something that's authentically them, you know?
Mm-hmm,
Like that's why I
mm-hmm.
think again, like I'm always so impressed because I can when you mention like Ganja Sufi, I think I even mentioned that to you last time we spoke because like especially the way you sing sometimes in your vocal tone, it's super gravelly like a Ganja Sufi. That's like the only person I even think of I could even compare vocal wise. But
Nah,
like it's not like
facts.
I think you're doing a Ganja Sufi song, you know what I mean? Like it's Pink Siifu, going back to what we said earlier, and I just think that's what you do that's like so unique is that you're able to effectively integrate all of these kind of things into your gumbo and it's really fire. But like when we look in the
Nah,
future,
thank
is there a sound or like a genre that you maybe haven't tapped into or at least haven't like made or integrated into your sound yourself yet that you want to in the future?
It's a couple, but I'm gonna keep it a buck. I feel like I'm a man of foreshadowing and breadcrumbs. So it's a reason why you got a live and direct in that intro right now
Mm.
because of like what's coming later when it comes. Like, it's like Brett, like I gotta like, yeah, I feel like I always gotta leave breadcrumbs kinda so niggas not too thrown off.
Hmm.
But right now I don't gotta do that. I have no more breadcrumbs to leave because I've fucked all everyone
Yeah,
up.
you
Like,
fucking done
like,
too much where I'm like
like,
I was like
yeah.
trying to name off genres that maybe but I couldn't think of like immediate ones because
Nah, it
you've
is it.
touched in
I
them.
mean, I will say though, for my last, like, I think I want to do. I think I'm on. I think I'm because it's crazy. Like when you number up all the solo albums, and you be like, oh, it's only four. And like only four is not just the only four. Like we only got three D'Angelo albums, and they're one of the best albums ever. So who
Oh
gives a
yeah.
fuck how many albums you
Yeah.
fucking make? Like, but like, But it is crazy. Like all the albums I got, like almost 60 in this. Damn, it's only like 4 solo albums. Like, so I think I got Tarantino in me. Think I got only 10 in me. Like on some like kind of how I want to leave out too. Like and like on the solo run. And like I think as we've seen right now, I've been making music for like damn near 10, 12 years. So I only got four. So that's probably another time. But like I think for my last album, I want a full jazz album. Full jazz album. And I want my dad to play sax on it. And like and I'm talking about jazz, like all the just yeah, like jazz, like
Mm.
just when you like Charlie Parker, big band, like like jazz. So like that's my last shit though. Like my bow out, you know what I'm saying? My like then I'm just trying to like explore other things, still make collab projects, but like yeah, but like that's one thing that I know for sure. Everything else, I mean, I definitely want to do a blues album. I want to do
Oh,
a blues album.
that
You
could
know,
be
I mean,
cool.
that's
That
why
could
I
be
put
cool.
that's why you got Black Water right now. You know
Mm.
what I'm saying? Like it's breadcrumbs. So, but we'll see. You know, we'll see. I'm all about what I'm on and what's inspiring at the time. But I do have things like yeah, like I do have things I want to do, like for sure. Like I love Brazilian music. I
Mm.
love Brazilian funk. Like that shit they on right now, like with the DJs and shit. Like I'm loving that. So like it's funny, bro. When you if you like really like listen to like my playlist that I be making, or like I'm not a fan that's like, oh, like damn, that's cool music. I'm like a and like and then ain't no like butchering shit or like, oh, I'm just trying to do what they on, blah blah. But like if I'm a fan of something, bro, I'm going to go in the studio and try to do that shit. Like and on my shit. Like
Mm-hmm.
that's just how my blood and my brain works. So like if if I'm listening to something, that's how me and High Tech end up. Like I was a fan of
Oh
them,
yeah.
bro. I was a big fan of their shows and everything. And I was like, we gotta do something. I don't even know if it's a song. Maybe it's just a tour or some shows, but we gotta do something. They was like, shit, bro, we gotta slap. We think you're like blah blah. Then like sent me what you want to do. I already with Milfy already.
Mm.
And I was like, oh, lay that El Benji, get on that makes sense. Oh, we can make hella of these. Start it's on the flow. They made like a few more for them. Like on I think on I don't know. They got shit in the vote. But yeah,
Mm.
like I did a few for them. And that shit, like that sound and me with hot tech, we can make that all
Easy
day.
money.
So it's like, but like if I'm a fan of something, like I like study it. I'm like, I'm done. I see the shows. That's how I was with the punk shit. I was at the shows, moshing, blah, 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 doing all of that, seeing the niggas breath control, seeing how I was doing it. All right, went in the studio, did my shit. Like, it's like I'm still a student of this shit. So it's like
Mm-hmm.
I'm a anything. Like I don't want to do the blues shit until I could play guitar. Like for real, I need to take like a couple years off and like at least be able to play a couple of them songs on guitar, like while I'm singing. So it's like shit like that. Like it's like I'm just trying to like everything got to make sense. So it's all in time too. But yeah, I'm trying. I'm probably gonna be making albums till I'm about like 50,
There you go.
like
We got
50.
lots of time then. We got
Yeah,
lots of
yeah,
time
like
then.
yeah,
Yeah.
50, like 50. You know what I'm saying? Like.
Is there any project that you can speak on that's in the works, or is it all kind of just like wait and see for people?
I mean, I'm working. We working on this GK fam
Mm.
um compilation, and I'm really excited about that. So that's the only thing I can speak on. But Yeah, if you love gumbo, it's too quiet, black antique, you in for a nice group album, like bringing back the groups and a lot of niggas. So that's gonna be. I'm excited about that. You know what I'm saying?
That's
Like,
gonna be dope.
and if you've seen the gumbo tour and like even the It's Too Quiet tour, you know, like you've seen the shows. So yeah, it's definitely gonna be. That's like the thing I'm working on for sure. Like
Yeah.
that I can kind of only speak on.
Well, that's
But it's
dope, man.
definitely other shit. It's other shit
I'm
though. It's
sure. I
other
mean, like we said, you're so prolific. I know it's gonna come. But yeah, man, you're a fucking visionary, and the legacy you're building with every release is just like so dope to see, and it's an honor to have you on the show again. Hope it's not the
Nah,
last,
come
and
on, bro.
yeah,
Come
appreciate
on.
it.
Nah, never that, bro. Never that. I'm gonna hit you. I'm gonna hit you. I'm gonna hit you for that group shit.
Definitely do, man.
I got you. I got you.
All right, well, I'm out to fucking Benjamin Booker, Kenny Siegel show. Hope you have a
Nah,
good rest of the
yeah.
day, man, and
Send my love to Kenny, bro.
I will. Peace, bro.
Enjoy that shit. Oh God.
Peace. Thank you for listening to another episode of the Rap Music Plug podcast. If you enjoyed this episode and want to not only support the show, but join the fastest growing community of like-minded indie rap fans, go to patreon.com, search for the Rap Music Plug podcast, and become a patron. You will gain access to an exclusive patron-only Discord that me and 70 plus people engage with on the regular, as well as other patron-only benefits such as bonus episodes, album recommendation reviews, early access to regular episodes, and much more. So if you have any questions about any of the Patreon stuff, or just want to keep tabs on the show, interact with me on rap music and all the great stuff that we can talk about, follow me on Twitter and Instagram at rapmusicplugpod, or shoot me an email at qlctv.podcast@gmail.com. You can also rate and review the show on Apple Podcasts and subscribe on YouTube and Spotify as well. But that's enough self-promotion for this episode. I hope you enjoyed it. Peace.